On today's Minute Apes, guys, it's a new year and a new focus of prioritizing myself over others. I have this real issue with just overcommitting my time. So if you guys ever crash land on a planet and I have to come and rescue you, I can give you about 36 hours, and that's about it.
Divine bomb.
They are the good human and the dead human.
Where there is fire, there is smoke.
Now fight like a minute of Apes. A minute of the Apes. A minute of the Apes. A minute of the Apes.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. And in this new year, I'm Todd. Sean, are you still Sean?
I'm still Sean. Hey, Gertie, you haven't finished your lick, Matt. She's got plenty over here still. Her
Richard?
pate.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Is it you? Mm-hmm. Even though you can't commit more
I'm
than
the
36 hours. Richard is the anti-hero. We live under that assumption all the time that you are the anti-hero. You come in, you look the coolest and the most svelte of us all. But
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a sexy baby.
Do you mean you just like to wear a diaper or what?
okay.
No, I'm quoting T-Swift's lyrics from the anti-hero song, Sean.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So this is Minute of
know
the
this
Apes
song.
where we go into lyric talk. Why do
What? We should do that. We should start our own show, Lyric Talk.
lyric? I like lyric talk. We could go down a lot of hills with that. But today,
you
Richard's
could be
very
running
distracting
some
because
hills.
I already told him
It could be a long and winding road.
he's got his CrossFit Big D shirt on, and I'm already looking at his Big Diggies all day. And it's like, hey, here it is. Happy New Year to you guys.
Hey, Happy New
So
Year.
when we
yeah.
record this is 1 week after the new year has passed. All kinds of things in this crazy, crazy world, but chief among those is Minute 51. Sean, tell us
right.
what's going on.
We start minute 51 with a 36-hour countdown to the end of this nightmare. To me, I thought it was just like 65.
I was so pissed when they
65.
said 36 hours. I'm like,
Like,
what?
65 minutes. All right. And it ends with, you're not hurt, you're young.
All right, here it comes. Minute 51. Marky Mark and the Planet of the Apes.
Got exactly 36 hours to rendezvous with my friends, and I'm out of this nightmare. What happens to us? Where do we go?
You're going nowhere. This one still belongs to me. Stop! You I've had enough of! Take it easy, little fella. I'm not gonna hurt you. I wouldn't hurt my own property. But for you, I'll make an exception. Hey, no harm done. Come here, kid. Come here. You're not hurt, right? You're young.
As of minute 51, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, humans in Ape City minus 2 gorillas, and humans still on the loose.
All right, visually, we get a long walk and talk pulled back as Marky Mark lets us know that we still got 36 hours of this movie left. We have an ape jump down on the back of one of our intrepid heroes. Everyone turns around to see them. We see that it's Paul Giamatti's character. What's his character's name?
Limbo.
Thank you. Once again, I'm going to be the one that struggles with names in this movie no matter what I do. So Limbo gets punched in the face. He falls back. Everyone recoils, looking. We have a little bit of a dialogue exchange. Flip the kid. Kid punches. We get punching. We get all kinds of upward stick movement. And then, in what I can best describe, that it looks more like some kind of dancers at a Las Vegas review. We have 2 gorillas jump in from out of frame.
Awkwardly.
Very awkwardly. They grab the kid. Now we go back and forth with kid talk. Kid kicks Paul Giamatti, and we get the boom gun as we shoot the gun. I'm glad that we saw it before.
Where we're doing our Chekhov's gun.
Yes, and so now, and that's such a weird looking gun. But anyway, we see that, we get the exchange as Paul Giamatti brings the kid in. So
Yeah, honestly, that gun was so weird looking. I thought he was about to ice a puff pastry with it.
I thought so too. We'll get to the gun. So let's talk about this. 36 hours. Did something in that thing tell me 36 hours? Where does that come from?
That's just giving us a ticking clock, but it's such an arbitrary number. It's like a day and a half.
Yeah.
But they came to find him. What is it, 36 hours till the sun sets? 36 hours. Like I need something to let me know. What is the metric for 36 hours that they have to leave? Why does the ship
leave
came
in
to
36 hours
have to leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no impetus.
And we've not even seen that in the early setting of this film when they went into the nebulous looking for
Clearly they've waited like
the other ape. Yes.
so they've already waited 2 days for him, or however long they've been on the planet, right? Because he lost the communicator for at least 2 days.
We've seen movies before.
Pericles?
Yes,
There
that's
you
it.
go. Yeah.
We've seen movies before where a timetable is set that we are. I'm gonna
You get the Alfred Hitchcock. We got a ticking bomb under the table.
Yes.
We know it's got an hour left, but nobody else knows.
Right.
And so there's tension built there. This is just, hey, I got 36 hours.
We've seen
Okay.
movies before where, just as an example, we're on a 48-hour deadline to do this. We have to get out of here before this. You set that tension up here.
This is the middle of the movie,
You
yeah.
do not get any tension built if somebody pulls up. Here's the ticking element, and I'm like, okay, why does that concern me? Where does this come from? What does that mean?
And if he was going to say the 36 hours, he should have said it in the minute prior when he first opens up the messenger and it says, "I've got 36 hours. They're
Right.
here. They're here."
Exactly.
I've got 36 hours. Though.
We should have seen something counting down, or if he, and maybe that tells him they're leaving in 36 hours. Maybe it tells him whatever it tells him, but there's nothing. And I thought maybe, so I told the guys that because my kid's in town, I got one more week with her. I didn't truly sit down and physically make notes. I watched the minutes. The one thing that slapped me right in the face, and I thought I don't even need to make a note, was did I miss something last week?
No.
Did they do 36 hours and I didn't know?
Well, and why? I mean, again, 36 is such a nice number. Like not 17.
But
not,
it's also, it doesn't
not
have
31.
It doesn't have a
weird.
sense of urgency.
No.
No, it
'cause
doesn't.
A day and a half. Now, of course, he's on a planet. He doesn't know where everybody is, but still, a day and a half doesn't seem like. He should have said like 12 hours. They should have made it much shorter.
And also,
That's a good point. Yeah, if you really wanted to build the tension for dropping a time,
I've got half a day to get
well,
there.
also you
I've got
add
till
in,
sundown or something like
add
that.
in the term less than. I have less than 36 hours because that also adds an element of time is ticking on you. But then just to say 36 hours, it feels so neat.
Yeah.
So perfectly, like 36 hours is some number that has relevance that we've never heard before. And it's like,
I will say this for this whole week. Now, it hasn't been this up to this point, but for this whole week, it is following the script.
Oh, okay.
oh, is it really?
There's one moment scene that maybe is going to take place another time, but otherwise, it is almost the exact dialogue for the next 5 minutes. The exact dialogue, the exact movement, really minor, and it has not really been that up to this point. They'll make move some stuff around, rework some dialogue, things like that. But otherwise, this is largely it. They wrote it's about exactly 36 hours to rendezvous with them, and then I'm out of this nightmare.
Well, going back to the 36 hours, it made me think again that when we talk about this being rushed to production, perhaps because of the impending writer strike, if that wasn't some element that was in a
set up
previous
earlier,
version,
cut out maybe.
and they cut it for whatever reason, but still thought it was a good thing to have in there. I've mentioned this before when we talk about breaking minutes down, but there is a funny moment to me, and it occurs right around the 11-second mark after Paul Giamatti falls down on the African-American gentleman. He could be English, African.
You don't know. Yeah. We're assuming he's American.
Yes.
And
So he hits him, and then Paul Giamatti moves away, and this gentleman rolls into the bush, and right around 13 seconds, it kills me because do you know what shooting that scene was? It's the second unit. Do you see what I'm talking about? Where
He just rolls over.
It's a second unit person setting up in front of the camera, and I'd go, okay,
and he just has a roll in front of him.
Richard, I want you to roll with urgency. Boom. Go back. Richard, I want you to roll like it hurts. Boom. And they did it 50 times. And it's just a silly little shot that is like...
It was unnecessary.
It's a very bizarre little shot.
We see Limbo toss the gentleman, his name is Gunner.
Okay.
We see Limbo toss Gunner off to this, roll him off to this.
Gunner or
Gunner.
Gunt?
Gunner. two ends.
Okay.
We see him toss Gunner off to the side, and that's all we need. We didn't need to see him land on the ground.
I get why you want
unnecessary.
those reaction edit things so
Sure.
it builds a little space in it so it doesn't feel like it's a rushed moment, but it is such a weird shot that again just looks like somebody went, okay, fall down. Fall down.
So let's talk about the ape in the room. So how did Limbo find them? Is the ape that we saw when they supposedly got out of there? Nobody knows this exit area. One of these two gorillas that jump on the person later. I mean, for a hidden area that nobody knows about, everybody sure seems to be able to find everybody pretty easily.
And that would literally be my question. Was Limbo the shadowy figure? Was one of the other gorillas about to walk
I was
up
gonna
the shadowy-
say that.
They could have easily given us that early on, and it wouldn't have made me feel any. Well, it wouldn't have rolled the element of surprise in this moment.
No,
of
and
showing
if
up.
anything, it would have added that, there are multiple factors at play here. It's not just they coming after them because of the impending doom of that, but they're an owned commodity, and he wants his possession back.
That in of itself is fascinating, interesting, and it's just kind of plopped
Yeah.
to bring it back in.
Because if you show him earlier, and let's say we do see the side of his face, right? Well, we don't exactly know what he's going to do. We don't know if he's not going to go to Thade to earn favor. We don't know if he's going to go after them to get his property.
Or if he's secretly trying to help them in some way. I mean, not that
There are all kinds of things. You're not giving away a surprise by simply giving information. And I thought the same thing when he comes here. It feels like, where did he come from? And why is he here?
Not only that, Limbo was waiting in limbo for the right time to come in with a pithy catchphrase.
Yes.
You're going nowhere because you belong to me. It's like, how long was he waiting in the trees for the right... now I can... Oh, no, he didn't say...
No, he didn't say what I wanted him to say.
Okay, now.
Now.
But I mean, they've had to have follow them for at least a half a day so far in order to kind of make
And
this
wouldn't
time
they
frame.
hear him in the trees?
Right? Would
Yeah.
they notice them pausing and swimming underwater to something unusual?
Yeah,
would they
would
be
not
going?
the two apes with them notice another ape following them? Would they not be more attuned to hearing
Or
somebody?
hear the conversation? Yeah, it was just a little out of nowhere. I will say this: Limbo, Paul Giamatti does a great job in this minute of what am I looking? Changing tone and pitch in such a way.
Going from so haughty to no, okay.
Changing pitch and moving back and forth with this dialogue that is just kind of I like listening to him.
So
he made it entertaining for me to
Have you
hear this
seen
minute.
the Verizon commercials he's in right now where he plays Einstein?
Yeah, I have.
Even in that, I thought of him in this, and I thought, obviously that's a paycheck for him. He's a great actor. But even in that, he brings such characterization to it. And here, you've got a Verizon commercial that you can do that with. And I thought in this, then there's some of the looks where it's kind of like, I'm going to look at you side-eyed. And he's like Helena. He's doing the best he can with what's given to him. But what's
Faye,
given is not the best.
The three of them.
Tim Roth, too.
The three of them are just blowing me away, and everything else is just dull. And it really kind of sucks because I got excited when he came in the scene. I'm like, ooh, he's interesting. What's going on here?
I do like the fact that, like Kick-Ass. Think of Kick-Ass when you had little tiny Chloe Grace Moretz, like beating up adults. You go, all right, that's a comic book thing. I like in here when a kid hits him 3 times, he's like, all right, watch this kid, and smacks him around instead of having the kid somehow beat up an adult.
However, it is such a trope too that when the kid hits him, we get the whoosh, whoosh. It's like, why didn't it just kind of go thud?
Yeah,
I feel like they really had to. The reason that it was him and not, Dana. Why it was the kid?
The kid who
Burn,
did it?
His name is Burn. Why it was Burn smacking Limbo around was because they had to give the kid something to do. Yeah. I feel like that's the only reason it's the kid and not her. Well, Dana would be a little more interesting as somebody because we've already seen that she's kind of a scrapper.
Right.
Would have been nice to see her pick that up. He just kind of jumps out of nowhere to protect his friend Gunner.
So then that gets me to the point with after we have the altercation between he and the kid, then we get the two gorillas jumping in, and it is such a ham-fisted.
Again, yeah. Why are they hiding in the bushes?
They're already hiding. There's no reason for them to hide behind. They should have exposed themselves already. Right. Wait, that sounds weird. They should have revealed themselves already.
I was Gertie proofing a cable. Sorry.
Yes.
But going back to what I said, where it felt like a Las Vegas review, because if you look at them, it is literally they are cutting 10 frames after they begin their jump from the side in, and it looks more like a doo-wop group kind of boom. why, gorillas can be, they don't have to jump at everything. They could be these imposing things that come out of the shrubbery. More primate kind of.
But yeah,
standing
again,
up. It can be scary instead of boink.
But again, it's one of those things that why were they hanging out in the bushes waiting to pounce instead of just being out there with Limbo the whole time?
Well, it says that that after he kind of smacks him, Bird is supposed to make a break for the forest, and that's when the two of Limbo's handlers explode from the bushes.
Well, that wasn't much of an explosion. To be quite honest.
No.
It was more of a, hey, guys.
Yeah, and it's kind of so
Ta-da!
it's kind of so darkly lit. It's just kind of weird.
Well, and it's
Gertie.
obviously such a set too that you look behind them and it just looks very fake.
So the two of them pick up the kid, right?
Yes.
To pick up the kid for Limbo to walk in and kind of give this conversation. I'm not going to hurt you. I wouldn't hurt my property. But what we get is Kroll, and Leo just kind of like going, huh? They have to have a reaction. And I don't know why because they're not doing anything.
Yeah, that weird reaction shot of all of them, the whole group together.
They pick up the kid and we have to react. It's just it's weird.
Well, but that goes back to the scene when Leo was working as a house servant, and all the stuff's going on, and it just kept cutting to him with looks of
Is this
and so
real life?
you wanted a gaping ape thing before Richard. There was a moment. At this point, it's just Leo dumbface. It should be the gaping
Maybe
ape.
that's what it is, yeah.
Because for a hero, and even if he's an anti-hero, even if he is that guy that somehow is heroic, though he shows no characteristics of being the classic hero, let's say that. He shows no characteristics of even giving a shit, except that there's 36 hours left. This happens, and first off, why does he even care about that kid? Why isn't that just a good distraction for him to leave?
Exactly,
If he's an anti-hero, he could just walk away like.
That's why Gunnar asked, "What about us? What are we supposed to do?" Right?
Yeah.
And yes. The point is, he's about to react. He's about to do something, right? And it happens in this minute where he pulls the gun.
Right.
I don't know why we needed the reaction prior to him and Kroll basically going, "Huh? What do we do now?"
Right.
Right. It was just weird. They could have just cut basically to him. We could have had Dana turn to him for some type of support or help, and if she'd looked to him pleadingly, that might have given him reason to actually pull a gun and do some response. Otherwise, the moment of him and Kroll just reacting is just kind of odd.
Well, okay, so he's and then we've got, we're not going to hurt our property, yet what propels him to Leo to raise the gun is that a hand is raised to the kid.
Although he's already beat up
hit
the kid a couple
kid.
times.
We've already
tripped him, everything. Two apes have jumped on him.
So why doesn't he say something like, "You're not worth the trouble"? That he's going to officially really hurt the kid. Also, if you're going to raise that gun, then we need and we get a shot. Let's see. So he shoots it at 44 seconds, and boy, this is a big boomstick, right? We get shots down the barrel afterwards by JJ, and I felt like the shot down the barrel should have come before he ever shot the gun, so that if I'm pointing I'm going to have to use this here, then the camera's here,
I'm
and
glad-
then
you're
what
doing
he should do is pull his
You're
gun
doing
away.
the great visual medium
Well,
of showing.
I'm trying to
all the
describe it.
podcast people.
If you'd shut up, I would try to describe it. It's going over my shoulder, and you're looking, and I'm aimed at Richard. And then the gun moves away, and then shoot it. So
So you think about killing the person, and
Yes.
but I'm actually showing you. I'm giving you the warning shot.
he's showing that there's a bit of character. He's a good person.
Okay.
It's
I mean,
just. Is he a
could've-
bad? Is he a stormtrooper and he's a bad
I'm
shot?
about to say you could have gotten a little bit of the
Kinda,
Han,
yeah,
shot,
that's-
Han shot first of I'm about to
didn't
kill
think-
you, but I don't.
Yes.
I don't even think
could've.
about that. It just because of the way that it starts, you just think he's a bad shot.
But here's my question. What the fuck gun is this that blows up a tree? It's not a shot. It's not a gunshot. It's a explosion.
Right.
You see smoke and fire from this thing. So it's not a pistol. It's not a laser. But look at the size of that explosion when it happens. I mean, and also the weightlessness of the gorilla that jumps away. That again,
It reminds me a bit of those guns from Logan's Run that flame out at the end.
yeah,
I always loved those
Well, it's
guns as a
also
kid.
a little bit reminds me of Stormtrooper guns too. That always everything was an
Yeah.
explosion when it got hit and blows up. But the size of that. So I carry that. If I'm using that for defense, and a human is attacking me, a human is vaporized when I shoot them with that. If I'm using it for hunting, maybe because I need food, I shoot something, it is gone. I have nothing left when I shoot it.
So let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, not the gun. He says the description of the script is Limbo's about to hit burn again, pan slightly right as the tree branch next to Limbo suddenly explodes. Wood splinters. The sound echoes through the forest. It's never been heard before by any of them. Burn stares wide-eyed at Leo. Limbo's men are as loyal as he is dishonest. They disappear into the trees. Limbo freezes, gives a meek smile, quickly helps Burn to his feet. No harm done. You're not hurt. You're young. Okay. This is something that they've never seen before, and they don't freak out more than they do. I just don't understand. They've not seen a gun as far as we know. It's even in the script that they've not seen a device like this, and yet Limbo's like, oh my bad.
Okay. I do like in the script saying that the gorillas were not faithful
Loyal,
to him.
loyal
They
as
just
he is honest.
piss off as soon as they can.
They disappear into the trees. It was just, I just don't understand this reaction to this thing that this technology they've never seen before does not shock and surprise them even more. That they all just don't like, all of them, humans and apes, just don't like
cowering on the
cower down.
ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but let's also
jumping up into the trees, like hanging from
Something
a vine.
like
Yeah,
that,
if you want to jump around, there's a good moment to jump. We assume they've never seen anything like this before because in the original film, they have guns. Have they said anything they don't
we
have
do
weapons?
know. Because remember, Thade's dad gave him the gun that was in the vase, and so although the general population does not know of a gun, there's some sort of sect that knows of a gun, and Thade knows of it now, but he's never.
Was that gun like this gun? I don't recall.
I think it was similar because
Okay.
I'm assuming what it is. It's the gun from the first pod that showed up that Davidson was chasing with Pericles, and so they rescued it from that, and they've had it for however long.
Remind me, we've already seen Thade's dad?
Yeah, remember he died in bed. It was Charlton Heston.
Wait, that doesn't
That
happen
hasn't
yet.
happened yet.
Oh shit! Is that later?
Yeah.
It's the
I was
next
about
couple
to
minutes.
yeah.
Fuck.
I was gonna say,
I jumped ahead.
We don't have a gun yet.
My memory.
So
That's why I was confused by that.
even when you said that was I was like, was that gun similar? I'm trying to recall it. And
Maybe that's in the.
thanks,
future
Sean,
minutes.
for spoiling the movie.
Anyways.
Boy, I was hanging on every little
No,
thread. Wanting this
they've
movie
never.
to...
They've never seen a gun. No.
Actually, you just made this movie more interesting because it was shit that I was like, what?
What? What happened?
Again, this is just another moment where it feels very, very. It's not even ham-fisted. It's just as though that they're hitting the beats of what you should have, which is we're escaping. A threat comes in. A bigger bit of knowledge is shown by the gun. But I found the gun odd in that it just blows up the tree. Okay. With that gun, why weren't we introducing that gun the moment that he's in the pod as a gun that could do absolute damage? Why are you taking that gun? That gun's not meant for things like this. And he's like, you never know what you're going to find. If that's done, then this makes sense. But what the fuck? If I shot you in your big
That's what I was
D's right there,
saying.
which for whatever reason, your big D's today, Richard's shirt says CrossFit Big D. It's playing into the boob.
That's all you're staring at right now.
It's playing into the boob comment of Richard's boob stay. But if I shot you there with this gun, what would happen to your body? Boom.
Explosion.
Why?
You went to wood splinters. I mean, it's weird. There's not explanation of what the gun is.
Or if they'd been working somewhere and that gun was used for something like that, an explosive thing, and now he's using it for protection, that'd be interesting.
Why it's in a spaceship that's supposed to be piloted by monkeys?
No, that
shit.
too. Yeah.
God knows. I'm not picking on Gertie. We're sitting here battling Gertie, chewing on Velcro. What happens when a chimp gets a gun?
Start playing with a gun.
What the fuck?
Well, we'll find out in future movies.
By the way, is
when it
somebody going to
happens.
die with a gun in this movie later, Sean? You've seen Into the Future.
I
All right.
don't know.
I think that's it for minute 51.
Yeah.
Unless you boys have anything else.
I feel like we're moving a little bit further along in terms of where this movie's trying to go.
I agree.
Right? I did appreciate the fact that it's kind of picking up right here. But ultimately, I still don't know what Leo wants to do other than get out of there, and he's got this baggage of all these people.
You know, we've all said how much this movie's not amongst our favorite, and Richard, we have to watch his slow dissolve into realizing that maybe what he remembered about this movie wasn't quite as good. I am curious to know with the next three where they become more modern filmmaking, what we will pick upon, because I don't think you can do this 1 minute at a time. We've said this without finding
Flaws somehow.
Flaws. I think with modern sensibilities, it's going to be more questioning where does this come from? Why are they doing that? Did that feel weird? But it's not going to be the flaws.
I think you find, and there are actually some filmmakers who literally do this because they've contacted the people that do it. But have you heard of CinemaSins? There's a YouTube channel called CinemaSins, and basically what they do is they'll say, hey, here's everything wrong with this movie in 24 minutes or whatever. And so they're basically going through and say, this is a sin. And, some of the stuff is just their internal, this is what we hate in a movie, and so they add it as a sin. But they say there are filmmakers that go make a film, and then they say, all right, what are the CinemaSins people going to say is wrong with our movie? Yeah. Let's go fix that and address that.
Right.
And then that's our movie now. That we've already said, all right, we're done. What's wrong with it? Let's figure it out.
But that's what you hope, and that's why most films do not shoot until they're in 6, 7, 8 drafts of that film. They're going to do fixes as they go along. The fixes, the additions, can sometimes cause problems with what have been shot. But you hope you're doing all that prior to committing it to film or video or whatever you shoot on.
Yeah.
This one, oi.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say, and I say oi because I watched History of the World Part 1 the other day.
In preparation for Part 2?
Yeah, I did. Abby just looks at me. She's like, you are so sad. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That is the funniest movie. I just laugh myself.
Hilarious. Such a good movie.
All right. That's it. That is minute 51. We will be back tomorrow. Everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Come in.